Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're going to be talking about Andrey Rublev.
Oh, interesting choice.
He's been all over the news lately for a bunch of reasons, actually.
Yeah, both on and off the court, right?
Exactly. So, and we're going to try to figure out, what's going on with him, his mental health, some of his on-court outbursts.
Oh, yeah, I saw that clip from the Turin tournament. Rough.
It's intense. And get this, there's even a connection to Steph Curry somehow. Intrigued. I know I am.
I am. I'm curious to see where this goes.
Well, one thing that really jumps out is just how open Rublev's been about his struggles.
You don't see that a lot, do you? Especially in pro sports.
Not really, no. It's refreshing, though, right?
Definitely. It takes a lot of guts to be that vulnerable, especially when there's so much pressure to project strength.
Absolutely. And some of the stuff he's talking about is heavy stuff. I mean, one article said he basically felt lost for a couple of years.
Whoa! Like existentially lost.
Yeah, like he didn't even know what his purpose was anymore. There's this quote where he compares how he was feeling to like a growing pain in his hand, but so bad that you just want to cut your arm off to make it stop.
Wow. That's intense.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Gives you a sense of just how much he was hurting.
Yeah. Makes you think about the pressure these guys are under all the time. It's more than just a game for them, you know?
Totally. And the article mentioned that he even tried antidepressants for a while, but stopped because of the side effects.
That makes sense. It must be tricky for an athlete to find medication that works without messing with their performance.
For sure. But he didn't just give up. He's been working with a psychologist. And get this, he's also been talking to Marat Safin.
Safin. Interesting. I mean, he was known for having a bit of a temper on the court himself, wasn't he?
Yeah. Maybe Rublev sees a kindred spirit there, someone who gets it.
Yeah, I can see that. Someone who understands the pressure cooker of pro tennis and maybe has some insights on how to handle it. You know, not just book knowledge, but real lived experience.
Right. That shared understanding can make a big difference.
So what about those anger issues?
Yeah, we can't ignore that. I mean, there's that incident in Turin where he was just pounding on his own knee.
It was hard to watch. You could tell he was hurting himself.
Definitely. And it's like, on the one hand, you've got this incredibly talented guy, top-ranked player.
Right. And then on the other hand, he's directing all this rage at himself. It's confusing.
It is. And in one of the articles, he actually addresses it. He says he hits himself so he doesn't break his rackets. Apparently, they're hard to replace.
So it's like a lesser of two evils kind of thing?
Maybe. But it still speaks to this deep frustration he's dealing with, this drive to win, but then this anger when things don't go his way.
You have to wonder what kind of support system he's got. Is anyone helping him learn to channel those emotions in a healthier way?
It's a good question. But here's where it gets really interesting. Apparently, Rublev's found inspiration in a pretty unexpected place. Steph Curry.
The basketball player.
Yep. Seems he's adopted this technique that Curry uses, writing motivational words to help him stay focused.
That's kind of cool. I wonder what word he chose.
He tried a few different spots, his wrist, his fingers, but he settled on his shoes, just like Curry. And the word responsibility.
Makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe it's about owning his actions, his emotions, the whole package.
Could be. It's definitely not the kind of thing you'd expect from a tennis player, which I guess makes it even more intriguing.
It does. It makes you wonder if this is just the beginning of a bigger shift for him, a shift towards more self-control and a more thoughtful approach to, all the pressure that comes with his career.
It's a fascinating possibility.
It is wild, right? Like, what does tennis have to do with basketball?
Right. But I guess when you think about it, the mental game's got to be pretty similar.
Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, the pressure to perform, the expectations, dealing with those tough losses, that's universal in sports, right?
True. Makes you realize it's not really about the specific sport, but more about the shared experience of being a professional athlete. Totally. And remember how Rublev talked about feeling stuck in a loop, like unsure of what he was even doing or why?
Yeah, that was heavy.
It was. I mean, that sounds like a full-blown existential crisis. Not exactly the kind of headspace you want to be in when your career is all about focus and dedication.
No kidding. And like you said before, there's this added pressure in pro sports to always act like you got it all together.
Right. So can you imagine trying to project this image of confidence when inside you're feeling totally lost?
Oof. That's got to be rough.
No kidding. Which is why I think it's even more impressive that Rublev actually reached out for help.
He could have just kept it all bottled up.
Exactly. Which is what, let's be honest, a lot of athletes probably do.
Sadly, yeah. But instead, he sought out therapy, talked to Safin, even looked to Curry for inspiration. Like he was actively trying to figure things out.
And that, to me, is a sign of real strength, being willing to admit you need help.
It's a good point. It kind of flips the whole tough guy image on its head.
Right. It's like saying, hey, mental health matters, and it's okay to not be okay, which honestly is something we all need to hear sometimes.
Absolutely. He also talked about comparing himself to Daniil Medvedev, another Russian player.
Oh, yeah. What about him?
Well, Medvedev used to be known for his on-court meltdowns, but lately he's been way calmer.
Hmm. Maybe Rublev sees that and thinks, okay, if he can change, maybe I can too.
Yeah, like he's looking for a roadmap, you know? Proof that it's possible to tame those intense emotions and still be successful.
It's powerful stuff, right? Seeing someone who's walked a similar path and come out the other side, it gives you hope.
For sure. It's like, it's not just about finding the right therapist or technique. It's about having these examples, these role models who show you that change is possible.
And that it's okay to ask for help along the way.
Exactly. It normalizes the whole thing, makes it less scary.